Hello, good morning, everybody. I am Waylon, the indoor farmer. We're going to do a segment today, this morning on my day off. I found this post, and I'm going to pull it up here in a minute, having to do with skin tags. Skin tags. A lot of people have skin tags. Some people, just kind of leave them alone. Some people want to get them removed. I always thought it was a cosmetic thing, but this post kind of perks my interest, so to speak. And I'm going to pull it up here for you in the display capture. Excuse my echo of the picture. Give me a second. So, okay, this post came across by Dr. Robert Lufkin. Follow him on X at Robert Lufkin MD. He says, "Please don't ignore skin tags," and I'll actually pull this up a little bit bigger, real quick, like. Yes, there we go. So he says, please don't ignore skin tags. They are often a cutaneous marker for impaired carbohydrate metabolisms and metabolic dysfunction. Skin tags should be considered clinical markers of hyperinsulinemia. Insulinemia. So there's there's 55 comments. I commented a lot of comments to read through, but what I want to do is I clicked the link that he posted, and it takes us over here to Science Direct. Science Direct. Hey Rose, I see you on the Rumble. I'm sorry, locals. Popping in on the locals. So it says, and then this is, like I said, from Science Direct. Let's see, from March 2014. So it's an older article. I wonder if there's anything newer out now, but we'll see. Skin disorders in overweight and obese patients and their relationship with insulin, uh, dermatosis, and that's in Spanish, the second half there. So I'm just going to read through this a little bit, and we're going to get out of here. I'm actually going to, I think, start a live stream in a little bit that's just playing some this week's reruns, the 5 shows from this week, and maybe the little segments I've done. I might throw those in there as well. But I need to get out there a little bit more on the Rumble, so we're probably going to play a rerun stream for at least throughout the day. Okay, let's go. Introduction. The prevalence of obesity has increased worldwide in recent years. Some authors have, let me just a little bigger for myself here. Some authors have described skin conditions associated with obesity, but there is little evidence on the association between insulin levels and such disorders. Objective to describe the skin disorders present in overweight and obese patients and analyze their association with insulin levels. Okay, so I don't have diabetes, but I do eat sugar and I do have a skin tag. You know, so it kind of perked my interest in that sense. Material and methods. The study included metabolic male and female patients over 6 years, or I'm sorry, non-diabetic male and female patients over 6 years of age who were seen at our hospital between January and April of 2011. All the patients were elevated by dermatologists who performed a physical examination, including um, anthro anthropometry, anthropometry, and reviewed their medical history and medication record. Fasting blood glucose and insulin were also measured. See, that's the thing. While fasting, they measured the blood glucose and insulin. That's a big deal. People, a lot of times, they don't do that. The patients were grouped according to degree of overweight or obesity, and the data were compared using analysis of variance or the X2 test, depending on the type of variable. The independence of the association was assessed during regression analysis. Goodness, a lot of them big words in this one. Results in total: 109 patients 95 adults, 13 children, 83.5% female were studied. Why so many female, I wonder? The mean SD age was 38, 14 years, and the mean body mass index was 39.68 kilograms M2/M2 per what? Per metabolic 2? I'm not sure what that means. The skin condition observed was acanthosis. Acanthosis nigricans. Nigricans, I'll say it that way. Nigricans, AN, in 97% of patients. Skin tags, 77%. Keratosis pilaris, 42%. And plantar, I've heard plantar fasciitis, but this is plantar hyperkeratosis, 38%. Statistically significant associations were found between degrees of obesity and AN, skin tags, and plantar hyperkeratosis. Number of skin tags and neck severity score and AN disruption were significantly and independently associated with insulin levels. Okay, so that's a lot of information that's hard to understand for those of us who are not in that realm, in the scientific or medical industry like that. Conclusion: AN. So let me reread what AN is. AN is this acanthosis nigricans, AN. So the skin conditions were AN. That's still hard to understand. Conclusions: AN and skin tags should be considered clinical markers of hyperinsulinemia in non-diabetic obese patients. Non-diabetic obese patients. Okay, now they go into another language. It's really all of it was in English. This is a new introduction. Another, what is this? Materials and methods. Okay, did we read all this? No, it's a different. So this is the study. This is actually the, the analysis and stuff that maybe we shouldn't really need to look at. I would just like to know, let's see, statistical analysis. Patients were divided into 4 groups according to the presence of overweight. But we read something similar to this already, and they're repeating it for some reason. The study includes 109 patients, 91 women. Okay, it's similar. It's the same information. This is talking about the amount someone is overweight, and depending on, let's see, abbreviations: BMI, body mass index, of course, HOMO-IR, homeostasis model assessment of insulin resistance, WCI, waist circumference index. Pardon me. Okay, so n equals 109 and n equals 10. Like, I'm not terrible at math, but I'm lost on this chart. It's okay. Frequency of skin disorders was as follows: AN 97% skin tags, 77% keratosis pilaris, 42% plantar hyperkeratosis, 38%. Okay, so this is making a little more sense. So 97% was the AN skin tags, and 77% was for this. Then okay, I see. Oh, hi, Margaret. Rose says, have a great day. Okay, have a good day, Rose. The Mayo Clinic said Skin tags are harmless, but rarely they could indicate a hormonal disorder. Okay, interesting. So there's a lot. I guess the jury is still out. So this is just one study that shows a correlation between being overweight, having skin tags, and ending up with autoimmune or uh, carbohydrate disorders. A lot of people say that their skin tags disappear after going on the carnivore diet for a while. So I'm gonna scroll to the bottom because this is it's got to be a conclusion here. Wait, what was that chart? Obesity, number of skin tags. Okay, that I guess that could be a bigger correlation if you have more. Huh. Ooh. Ooh, there you go. Figure 5. Woman age 45 years with grade 3 obesity and grade 4 uh, acanthosis or AN on the neck. All right, let me go to the bottom like I wanted to. 2015 Medical Clinics of North America, citation expert. It has also been well recognized that most women with PCOS have hyperinsulinemia and insulin resistance, irrespective of obesity. 5 or point 0.5 or I'm sorry, 5 to 6 women with PCOS should be examined for clinical signs of insulin resistance such as AN, multiple skin tags. 7, and keratosis pilaris. 8, a two-fold increase in the prevalence of metabolic syndrome has been noted in women with PCOS from retrospective studies. Link between insulin resistance and obesity from diagnosis to treatment. Here's one from 2022. Again, this is from the MDPI. I don't know what MDPI stands for. Medical something. Medical diagnosis patient index, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Department of Endocrinology, Diabetology, and Metabolic Disease. Okay, this is their sources. Abstract: insulin resistance has become a common health issue in medical practice. There is no detailed data on IR prevalence, but it is an increased problem due to its close association with obesity. However, IR is not considered as a separate nostal- nosological 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 entry, and the diagnosis criteria are not well defined, which leads to overdiagnosis of IR and an inappropriate approach. This review aims to summarize the available literature. Let me make this a little bigger for myself. Where was I? Appropriate literature on IR, patho, pathophysiology, hmm, ceology, ceology, its relationship with overlord, with obesity, as overlord. It's right there though. It's overload, as well as diagnosis method, clinical presentation, and treatment. Excessive energy intake results in cell overload that triggers mechanisms to protect cells from further energy accumulation by reducing insulin sensitivity. Additionally, hypertrophied adipose Adipokite, adipocyte, adipocyte. Holy cow! What is this word? And macrophage. I've heard that word. Infiltration causes local inflammation that may result in general inflammation that induces IR. Yeah, sugar. Sugar makes you resistant to insulin. The clinical picture varies from skin lesions. Okay, now there's an introduction. What the heck? Can they break this down into layman's terms? Would be great. I mean, it makes sense. You think your body's overloaded with fat and sugars, then you're going to be insulin resistant. Like we have long time we've had a long time connection between obesity and diabetes, but now they're talking about these skin tags having a link or a sign, being an early sign. Subcutaneous adipose tissue is made up of white adipose tissue where excess tags consumed with food are stored in a positive energy balance. Tag storage occurs by either increasing the volume of a single adipocyte or recruiting new cells from precursor adipocyte. Okay, all right, that's too much. Can't really parse all that out, but it is interesting. I wouldn't say I'm obese, but I definitely could lose some weight. So maybe this, I've had the skin tag for many years though, so it doesn't mean that every skin tag means that you are having diabetes, but it definitely means that you should be paying attention to the correlation. Like if your skin tag starts getting bigger as you start gaining weight, I feel like that would be a big sign right there. Anyway, very interesting. He links this older study, but there's newer studies on it. Here's one: skin changes in the obese patient. So I wonder if they're talking about like after you're obese, then you get skin tags. Like that's maybe a different type of skin tag. Insulin resistance is believed to be a cause of obesity itself and is linked to other disorders, including type 2 diabetes. I didn't know that. Hey, Ron on the YouTube, what's up? Come find me on the Rumble, man. I'll puttering around the house. Okay. I'll have a good day, man. It's a rainy day. I get that. Well, interesting though. Interesting. We could probably read about this all day and still not be able to understand some of the terminology, but hey, I'll speak for myself on that. All right. So get that off of there. Yeah. So I mean, serious stuff. Like our skin, uh, moles and skin tags and lesions and stuff like that. You have to pay attention, especially if you're overweight. If you're overweight, you get more of those kind of things. You get, especially from sitting for too long or from uh, being in positions that you know chafe and things like that. I mean, there's a lot of issues with being overweight. I didn't think skin tags was one of them, but evidently it is. Anyway, that's it for me, guys. Thanks for watching. And if you could hit that like button, share it out with some friends. We'll be back for another segment, probably a little bit later on. But I do plan to play some reruns this week's the 5 live shows from this week. Thinking of doing that here in a little bit. We'll get going on that. But yeah, we'll see you on Sunday for game night all day at 10 a.m. It should be a good one. I think we're going to have 3 or 4 competing players this time, so it should be fun. Anyway, we'll see you later. Thanks a lot, guys. Remember, everybody's got to eat.